Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for being late, had to take care of some things. But it's now time for more Fire Force, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Fire Force. Today, we're going to be checking out volume 27 of the series, titled Calling All Heroes and Angels. So let's begin. Holster, yo to you as well. Summary. A demon infernal floats in the air near the pillar that appeared in Sumida Bay. The doppelganger of Shinmon Benimaru's deceased mentor, Shinmon Hibachi. The revived Hibachi lambasts Benimaru for still being unsure of himself as a leader, calling him a dad-blamed idiot, to prove that he will not disgrace the Shinmon name. Benimaru uses all of his strength to fire a Nichirin at Hibachi, sending his mentor back to the afterlife in a spectacular show of gratitude, ensuring he will never lose his way again. Meanwhile, Shō has fled. It has here, meanwhile, Shō has fled again. Meanwhile, Shō has fled. You know how it is with these volumes, grammatical errors everywhere. Meanwhile, Shō has fled the white-clad cult's hideout and is attempting to learn the secrets of the Kusakabe family. He is interviewing a man who knew them back in the day, when suddenly he has an Adola link and comes face to face with his mother's doppelganger. Shobotai, good to see you! The chapters we have today is chapter 232 all the way down to 240. Yeah, all the way down to 240. Let's begin, because last we left off, Shō, as the summary said, had an Adola link with his own infernal mother. And we see his mom right here. My mother. But what? What has happened to you? Chapter 232, Mari Kusakabe. 17 years ago.
You don't know who the father is? No. Are you saying you've had relations with an unspecified number of men, but you're only in high school? It's not what you think. I really have no idea what could have caused this. First of all, I haven't had any relations at all. But there is a child developing inside you. We do have tests that can verify if you really are a virgin. Run them, please. You have to find out what's happening to me.
Ozzy, good to see you! A virgin birth? Who ever heard of such a thing? But the test proves it. There's no denying. I can't blame you for being skeptical. Not even her parents believe it. And they are not very forgiving. Apparently they disowned her. The poor girl. And then we have Mari Kusakabe, who's older, but, she's, very, very pregnant, going,
ooh, I felt a kick.
And then she's looking down at her stomach going,
you're getting big.
And then we have a nurse.
How are you feeling? Is everything all right, Abe-san? Oh, my name's not Abe anymore. Oh? I couldn't get my parents to believe that there's literally no father. They said they wouldn't stand for me giving birth to the child of a random stranger. So they disowned me and told me not to use the Abe name anymore. What? That's awful!
And then Shinra's mom is just laughing it off, showing her trademark sharp teeth that Shō and Shinra, and then Mari. I can't call her Shinra's mom anymore. Her name is Mari. Mari laughs and we see her pointed teeth that Shinra and Shō would later inherit in life.
This isn't something you should be laughing about, Mari-san. Sorry. You're giving me money to pay for the childbirth and to cover the cost of raising him, so I'm the one causing trouble for them.
And the nurse is kind of, Mari, Mary. Mari, Mary? Which ones? What's the correct pronunciation? And then we have the nurse just looking, and then we have Mari again.
They say that love only lasts as long as money endures. But I guess money lasts longer than love endures. I learned something new. Oh, Mari-san. If you ever feel like you're not okay, please tell us. That's what we're here for. You understand? Thank you. That's very kind.
And then Then there's another kick.
You kick an awful lot. This boy and his restless legs. Maybe he's cheering for his mommy. Maybe he is his mommy. Wow.
And then she feels like a hard pain.
What's the matter?
I think he might be coming out.
And then Mari goes into labor. Mari-san, push! We can see his head. Breathe, breathe, deep inhale, deep exhale. Not inhale, exhale. Deep exhale. And she's pushing, and then she starts screaming. And then next we know, we have Shinra. His heart rate and breathing are both normal. I can't believe he's really here. I'd heard stories about babies being born in a ball of flames, so I was a little worried about what this one would be like when he came out. How are you doing, Mari-san?
How's my baby?
The picture of good health.
Oh, good. I wonder what in the world happened to me.
Good question. Even after everything, we still don't know.
Oh, I see.
I don't know the details, but there was a legend before the Great Cataclysm.
Huh?
There was a woman who conceived before she had relations with her husband. It was a story of a virgin birth. And the legend says the one who told the woman about her pregnancy was an angel sent by God. Oh, so we're talking about Jesus. Jesus! I never thought Jesus would actually be referenced or even brought up in a manga series like this. Never thought of it. Huh. He told her that after the child was born, he would be a hero that would save the world. Dying for everyone's sins and, whatnot. Dying for everyone's sins, both past, present, and future. Being raised Christian, you get to add in these little things.
Me? The mother of a world-saving hero?
Doesn't sound too bad, does it? And then it shows Mari sitting with Shinra, and she's like whistling and singing to him.
My dear little baby, what should I name you?
And then the window creaks open, and little Shinra is kind of like whining just a little bit. And then Mari looks over, and it shows a woman. It shows like a slightly older woman walking in.
Mom.
And this is Mari's mom.
You did it. You had the baby that nobody wants. You gave birth to the child of a random stranger, and you don't even know who the father is? What kind of obscene lifestyle have you been living behind our backs? You're a tramp, the worst daughter a woman could ask for. To betray your father and me like this, after all we did to raise you? You refused to listen to us and gave birth to a child nobody wanted.
I'm pretty sure that her having a baby has nothing to do with you, old lady Kusakabe. Old lady Abe.
Nobody wanted.
That's a weird way to say...
Me and your father.
That's a weird way to say that.
You chose the filthy offspring of a piece of human trash over your own parents.
As it shows her mom pointing towards her. And then when she sees her mom's hand, she says,
"Don't touch him." Why would anyone touch it? That disgusting thing. Consider this the last time I'll ever see you, but I will give you a warning before I go. That child will make your life miserable.
And then her mother leaves. You know what? Coming from her, I wonder how Mari's life was before she got to this point. Because Mari's life, I imagine, was miserable if she has parents like this. And if anything, Mari's life was far better with Shinra and Shō than those of her own parents. I already dislike them. They're on my list, right next to Trotius from the beginning after the end. But she slams the door, and then Mari's just holding on to Shinra.
It's okay. You aren't unwanted. You're a hero. The world needs you. Shinra.
As she smiles with tears in her eyes, and then Shinra is laughing. Baby Shinra's laughing. And that's the end of chapter 232. Onwards to 233, Guardian Angel. And we have Shinra, who I'm guessing is at the hospital at this time after Shō has been born. Know who the father is?
No, and no one knows the father of the older boy standing by the window either.
She doesn't look like the type to play around. Guess you could never tell.
My little brother!
And it shows Mari, Shinra, and Shō at the park. And we're seeing Shō as a baby, you know, the classic way we've seen him.
He's so tiny! It's so cute! Shō is the angel that came down from heaven to bless our lives.
An angel? Then I'll have to be a hero so I can protect him.
No one will be a stronger hero than you, Shinra.
Yeah!
Because you really are a hero.
And then Shinra stops at those words and kind of blushes. Then he runs off and he just does like a jumping high kick.
Hi-ya!
And then we see Shō looking at Shinra. Then we cut back to the present because the flashback is over. Well, not the flashback, but the memories. The memories of Mari stop, and then we're back with Shō and, Infernal Mari here in Adola.
These are my mother's memories. Thoughts of my brother, my mother, and myself.
I'm gonna be a hero and protect you and Shō!
A legend handed down through the ages in the anti-cataclysmic world. A legend in which the child of a virgin becomes a savior.
So once again, talking about Jesus.
The great cataclysm is when Adola, the amalgamation of human concepts, assimilates with our world.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? The world of Adola is literally human imagination and concepts that's trying to overwrite the current world right now. It's not just this big, endless world of fire. It's literally, this is the result of every possible human imagination and concept given an actual physical form. Like it's its own world. A whole world based off of those concepts. That's crazy to me, but it's also cool.
The great cataclysm is when Adola, the amalgamation of human concepts, assimilates with our world. It has happened once before, which means the world in which we now live is one that has been influenced by the imaginings of the human race of the past. My brother Shinra Kusakabe is the man onto whom was projected the image of the savior as depicted by the anti-cataclysmic humankind. He was never meant to be a hero for me alone. He is a true...
And then we have the memories pop in going, "Devil! A mother murdering devil!"
But why? How did it get to be that way?
And then we still have Shō here in this Adola world.
And as another product of a virgin birth, what is my role?
And then we see a feather float past Shō. Like one of his fiery feathers float past Shō, and then it lands on Shō's shoulder, and then like 3 wings pop out.
My brother is a true hero, but only a mere few know this fact. I must guide my brother and protect him. Is this not so, Mother?
And then the entire world of Adola. Hold on. Denim was getting way too loud. He's been fed. He's already been outside. He don't need to be loud while I'm trying to work.
I must guide my brother and protect him. Is this not so, Mother?
And then the world of Adola starts to swirl around him.
Mother, I will fetch my brother, and I promise you.
And then the Adola link ends, and we're back in the real world with Shō, Arrow, and the old man.
Let us be off, Arrow. Right away.
You're leaving already?
There was a moment back there. Is everything all right?
Indeed.
This is not the end of the world. I know what I must do. Someone is trying to disavow my brother's existence. Only a limited few would attempt such a thing. It is time to fire a retaliatory shot. Retaliatory. It is time to fire
Blah, 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 blah.
It is time to fire a retaliatory shot.
Back at temporary secret Asakusa Special Fire Base 8, Captain Obi! Enormous pillars have been appearing, supposedly as signs of the Great Cataclysm. According to our predictions, there will be 8 pillars in all. There's only one left. Because remember, one popped up at the same time, and one of them was guarded by Shinmon Hibachi. But yeah, we're down to 1 pillar left. And then Company 8's just listening in. As a Fire Force company dedicated to the protection of the Tokyo Empire, we can't just sit back and do nothing. I'll keep this simple. Shinra, what is the Fire Force's mission?
Yes, sir! To protect the people's lives and property, sir!
We will take back Tokyo for its people! Commencing Operation Recapture the Tokyo Empire!
Can you do this, devil? I'm not a devil!
And then we cut to Arrow and Shō.
Shinra Kusakabe is... what?
And it just shows this gigantic spread panel here where the words hero is drawn around it. Yeah. And it's just the shape of Shinra in a very wide double spread panel with the words hero. And that's the end of chapter 233. Onwards to 234, the 8th pillar. And we have the members of the White Clad in here. We have Sister Sumire, Fairy, and Charon.
There's only 1 pillar left. This concludes the prelude to the Great Cataclysm.
So it does. The Great Cataclysm is an event that merges the world with the human race's collective unconscious. In other words, it destroys this world.
Then we have Yona? Is this Yona? Did Yona change his form again?
Which is exactly why we must steer the human's collective unconscious in the right direction. The final destination that humankind has pictured for itself is death. I will not allow that correct image to be distorted.
Haomiya, what does the collective unconscious think? And Haomiya's there as she's thinking of what everyone thinks of the Great Cataclysm.
No problems. The conclusion is death. The evangelist is pleased.
And then we have a set of eyes coming out of the dark. And here's a face we haven't seen in a long time. It's Dr. Giovanni!
Insects flying towards a flame. Humans heading for death, for destruction. The sequences are of different magnitude, but they are the same. It is true of this planet and of this whole universe.
Then we have Sister Sumire using her powers again as the final pillar raises out of the ocean.
Another pillar! I was afraid of that when I felt the earthquake.
The 8th pillar? What the heck is happening to our world? And then we have another infernal as it makes its way out of the ocean. There's gonna be another Titan! Run! Run!
Call the Special Fire Force!
And then we get a matchbox rolling in, and it's Company 2 again. Captain Honda and his crew are ready.
Company 2 at the scene!
Company 4 to your posts.
So, this is the last pillar, eh?
Prepare to catapult! Yes, sir!
Secure the line of fire! Hurry!
And we got Captain Pan, we got Oguro, and we got the other dude's name who escapes me. Yeah, Wow, I instinctively called him Captain Pan instead of Lieutenant Pan. I instinctively called him that. I thought I was gonna call him Lieutenant Pan because I've been so used to saying that, but I instinctively called him Captain. Because technically he is now. Company 2 and Hajima will take care of the Titan. We need to evacuate the citizens. Did I say Oguro? I meant to say Ogun. We have Pan, Ogun, and the other dudes whose name escapes me. But yeah, Oguro is there. He's on the side panel. I didn't even glance at him. It's just that Ogun, Oguro, O's. They got me. My apologies. This is the last of them. Surely we can let them take care of it.
We're almost done. Stop whining and do your job. With the first pillar, it was shocking enough just to see a massive tower come out of the ocean. But this...
As we see the, deformed, misshapen moon in the background, the 8th pillar, and whatever this is supposed to... Is this supposed to be the Infernal? Why does it look like a ship's wheel? Like on a classic boat? Why does it look like a giant steering wheel on a ship? From the waters of Tama Bay emerged the 8th pillar and a grand titan. And at the top of the 8th pillar is Fairy himself.
To ensure the unhindered progress of the Great Cataclysm, we of the Cataclysm Squad must utterly abolish the notion of a savior of the world.
And then we have that one dude with the 2 different hair colors going,
"Don't panic! Just follow the soldier's instructions and get to safety." Ah! It's a giant!
And as someone's running, they just spontaneously they spontaneously combust.
Spontaneous human combustion!
And then all the people all around him just spontaneously combust and they all jump him. His name's Karen. Does it have a star eye? It's got a star in the middle of it, but I don't know if I call it an eye, though. I don't know. But all these people just spontaneously combust around Karen, or Kareen. Kareen, you okay?
Sorry, I got careless.
You say that like it's an excuse, but the carelessness is actually the problem.
I said I was sorry.
Then Karen gets up.
Anyway, I'm gonna slow down these infernals. Scale barricade!
And he creates a barricade of scales that keeps the infernals out for a while. Then we get Captain Pan. I've given you all a heat resistance buff. Don't let the flames scare you. Come this way to safety. Ogun, put their souls to rest.
Yes, sir.
Father Rees, get ready. Anytime. The flame is a soul's breath. The black smoke is a soul's release. Ashes as ashes. May thy soul return to the great flame of fire. And Ogun proceeds to extinguish the infernals. And then we have Captain Honda, who looks so hilarious being loaded into a cannon that is meant for his own body shape. It's funny to see him loaded in a cannon that is perfectly his size.
Super headbutt cannon! Honda shot loaded! I wake up in the morning, open the window, bask in the warmth of the sun's rays. I go to work, do my job, go back home where my family is waiting, and every night I think, this was a good day. These days must continue tomorrow, and on into the future! Honda shot Onimuso!
Doskoi! And then Captain Honda shoots off.
Doskoi!
And he goes flying. Then we have Juggernaut watching.
This will defeat another Titan and turn another pillar black. But what will happen next?
Another tomorrow for the Empire!
And Honda launches at this giant infernal titan that looks like a ship's wheel and bounces off of it, much to the shock of everyone. Juggernaut, Pan, Kuruno, Oguro, Ogun, and Karin. And that's the end of the chapter. Captain Honda didn't destroy it on impact. Oh. That's the end of chapter 234, onwards to 235. Savior. Honda shot lost! We lost the Honda shot! Captain Honda! Captain Honda! And it shows the Titan. And then Oguro. No, not Oguro. Oguro.
That was unexpected. Can't believe the company those captain's attack didn't work.
Well, it's hopeless. We should just leave.
And where would we go with that monster on the loose?
I'm not joking. I mean, Honda's headbutt attack sounds like a joke, but its power is very real. And if it's not working well, then...
I'm not asking for your opinion. I'm telling you to do something about it.
Kurono is just so tired of Oguro. You don't think there's something wrong with the fact that I get paid the same for exterminating monsters as I do for playing with children at the facility?
That's what it means to be a wage slave.
I'm actually considering a career change.
If the Empire still exists tomorrow, go ahead. Now get out there.
And Kurono just shoots off towards the pillar, and the sun begins to set, and we have Fairy at the top of this pillar.
The sun sets, and the great cataclysm is on the horizon. The laws of this world are about to change.
And then we have a news reporter.
I'm here at Tama Bay. Yes, I do in fact sound like this in real life. I'm here at Tama Bay, where the Fire Force is engaging a Titan in combat, in battle. The sun is going down, so they'll have to fight in the dark of night. And the smile on the moon's face has gotten even creepier.
Then we have Fairy again.
Fall into despair. Abandon all your wishful thinking. Take your collective unconscious to its proper conclusion.
And then a light flashes in the air.
Look at that! Cameraman, zoom in!
I already am! And it shows someone floating in the midst of this light. Is that Raffles? As we have... Advent of the Pillar's great Titan, Raffles the First. Wow. Okay, Raffles the First has just appeared out of the flames, and he's floating in the midst of this giant Titan wheel shape. Advent of the Pillar's great Titan, Raffles the First, Latom. And it's just night. We see the moon above the pillar. Just the imagery of Raffles the First floating here. And everything. And here's what I thought. I thought that these images in the sky were just like, just to sell the scene. No, they're actually rings in the sky that can be seen by everybody. And Ogun can see it. What's going on with the sky? The stars? What is happening to the world? People's imaginations are blowing up.
It's His Majesty, Raffles the First. He has descended upon our world to bring salvation in our time of crisis.
Latom. And Raffles says, Latom. And then where an enormous explosion completely destroys where everyone's matchboxes were. Just this big, giant explosion. And Pan gets up and he looks, and he sees that the points on this wheel, they're firing shots across the coast. And it's just tearing everything up. And people are getting caught up in a crossfire. Why? Why, Raffles-sama? The Honorable Lord Raffles is angry at us foolish mortals. Divine punishment! We're being punished by the heavens!
We beg for your forgiveness, Raffles-sama!
Great, fantastic. Security tab right here in the middle of this very important scene. Give me a sec here. Security tab is now off. Whew. Okay, security tab off and we're good. Then we have the news reporter going,
Mommy!
hey, are you okay? Come on, get up! It's just a scrape, get up. I'm hurt way worse than you are. As the news reporter we've been seeing so often, he goes infernal, crying tears of fire.
Fire!
Ah! And the same cameraman just runs off and goes, why did you have to go infernal now of all times? You never did manage to make yourself useful. But I don't need some sorry excuse for an anchor to report the news. I got my camera, and that's good enough. And then something is flying in the air. Huh? Is that a bird? Is it a plane? And no, it's Shinra!
It stopped the great cataclysm, man!
A superhero?
Is that the giant? That's the creator of our empire, the great father, Raffles the First!
And Raffles, or at least what appears to be Raffles, looks at Shinra. We of the Great Cataclysm Squad will pluck every bud of hope, abandon all optimistic observations and assume nothing but the worst. Observe the truth and see for yourselves who is your real savior. And then it has Kurono, who's just sitting on this wheel, and he's humming to himself as Shinra stares down the very first ruler of the Tokyo Empire. That's the end of the chapter. That's a perfect way to end it. That's a perfect way to end that chapter. We still got some more to go. Ooh, chapter 236, Reunion. My reunion that you're dying to watch. Reminds me of Advent Children. Good to see you, Cloud. But Shinra is in the air, right in front of the Titan and Raffles. Company 8 rolls up, and they're prepared to fight as well. Shinra, you focus on fighting that Titan.
Yes, sir!
And then Company 2. Company 8? What are the traitors doing here? Are you really gonna argue about that now? This is an emergency. What are you plotting? You better stay out of our way! And then we have Juggernaut. Shinra, I'll back you up.
No thanks, I'll be fine.
What?
Adola is getting closer, and my ignition powers are getting stronger. Now I can get to light speed all on my own.
Oh yeah, your light speed kick. The one that beat that demon on the Chinese peninsula.
Company 8, let's help put the Infernals to rest. And, because everyone has been told that Company 8 are traitors, but they're clearly about to see what Company 8 is made of, and that maybe somebody was lying. Spirit was telling me that somebody was lying. So, they gonna do what they do best. And Company 2 is looking surprised that Company 8 actually wants to help out. It's almost as if you shouldn't believe everything you hear. But then there's a light that comes from one of the spokes of this wheel, and it erupts onto the coast again. Don't worry about us, Shinra. Go! And then we have Captain Pan. If we keep taking hits, we'll be annihilated. Karin, our job is to set up a defense. We need to put a shield that covers the entire coastline.
The entire coastline, sir?
I'll use all of my buffs on you. We have to be ready before the next cannon blast. I'll try, sir. And then Karin just breathes out and goes, Scale Shield! Full power! And then we just see the scales rise up into the air as it begins to cover that whole section where they are. I knew you could do it, Captain, and you're awesome too, Karin.
Darn right I am!
And then we have lights. Lights popping up on the wheel. Here comes the Titan's beam! And then it shoots, but it bounces off of Karin's shield. And the shield is still there. Keep it up, Karin.
Yes, sir! Company 4 Spirit!
We are Company 4. We don't leave anyone behind. Protect the survivors. And then we have Shinra in the air.
Where do you get off being that good, Karin? Karin, now for my job. Is to put the Titan Raffles the First to rest.
And Raffles just stares at him. But then all of a sudden, Shinra is hit with an unseen amount of gravity and force.
What the? Why am I so heavy?
And then Shinra starts using his own power to keep himself from being pushed into the ocean, but he keeps being pushed with more and more force. We know who this is, as Fairy comes in and proceeds to kick Shinra directly on the back of his head, just come flying in and then proceeds to kick him in the back of the head. But Shinra... Oh, he hits Shinra in the head and Shinra goes shooting... Oh, I forgot that his ignition powers affected gravity and space in a way where he can pretty much telekinetically affect people with his own powers. I forgot. He doesn't kick him down, he kicks Shinra, but he goes flying upwards instead. How does it feel to be kicked down into the sky? And then Shinra uses his own powers to stop him, but then he gets yanked towards Fairy again, and Fairy kicks him in the face. And then Shinra tries to fly off, but Fairy keeps using his powers to disorient Shinra by forcing him towards the ground, forcing him in the sky, causing Shinra to, really struggle keeping his own equilibrium going.
Dang it!
Allow me to disrupt your gravitational force. How does it feel to fall in every direction?
As he's putting his hands down in one way and his hands up in another, with flaming arrows in between his palms, as Shinra possibly is just constantly forced to go in the directions he's, directing.
I can't get the right midair stance! Oh, is this it?
As Shinra gets pulled straight towards Fairy, who kicks him in the face again.
Whoa! What in the heck? I hate everything!
As Fairy's kicking him, but causing his gravity to be affected in different ways, to the point where Shinra really can't get a steady footing. And that's odd to say for someone who spends most of his time fighting in the air. But then he stops, and he's stopped by Shō. Yo, Shō! Who's on one of Arrow's, arrows. And he stops Shinra. And he's just dangling right there.
What are you doing, brother? Couldn't you just boot him aside in an instant?
I don't even know what direction I'm falling in. One false step and I'm flying at light speed beyond the stratosphere. It's important to consider your own safety before you try and beat up the other guy.
But then Shinra fully realizes that Shō's there, and he's all like,
huh? Shō!
And he immediately hugs Shō, who has like a nervous sweat bead on his face because he didn't expect Shinra to do this.
Shō!
And then he gets his footing again. Did I have some extra lotion on my fingers? Why is that portion of the book so slick? Yeah, I think it was the extra lotion I had.
Ugh! Shō! What are you doing here? Are you okay? They didn't put you through anything too bad, did they?
We shall talk later.
Right. Titan first.
Then we have Fairy, who starts to disappear into the void again. He disappear into solid space again.
The players have assembled. My role ends here. Everything is in place to pluck the last bud of hope. At any rate, brother, give it your all. Show the world that you are a hero.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but I came here to be a hero.
And that's the end of chapter 236. Onwards to 237. Hero. I need a hero. Ooh, ooh. Yep, hero.
My brother is a true hero, yet someone is making him out to be a devil. Brother, the great cataclysm is an explosion of human imaginings. If you can give them hope through your exploits, their hopeful imaginings will swell, and that will make it possible to stem the world's destruction. Ha! You are not a devil. You must show the world who the real hero is.
I'm not a devil. I have to be a hero. What kind of a hero accuses people of sinning and demands that they atone?
As it shows Shinra and Shō floating in air in front of the Titan. And then it has a cameraman looking as he goes, there are two boys fighting the giant. Go! You can do it! And then we see the lights of the Titan light up again as it shoots towards the coast again, with everyone over on that side going, "Here it comes!" Then there's a flash, and it shows Shinra, and one of the blasts goes past him, and whoa! And all the lasers get kicked away. They all get launched in another direction. With Juggernaut going, "He kicked away the laser!" As it shows Shinra moving at light speed, but given the fact that ignition powers have vastly increased over the past 3 months, he's moving. This is Shinra's natural speed now. Don't even see his hands in the hand position that allowed him to go at it. We don't even see his hands in the rapid stance. We just see him move. That's his natural speed now, moving at lights. That's crazy. That's crazy for him to be moving at light speed so naturally now. But he deflects all the lasers, and then he proceeds to just dive kick into the side of this Titan right next to Raffles the First.
Shinra! Missed. It's been too long since I've done a lightspeed kick.
And then we have Raffles who goes, Latom. And lasers erupt right next to Shinra, but he dodges all of them, and he's just flying away from getting hit by any of them. And as he's flying, he flies high into the air, and then just stares down Raffles. And then it starts to zoom, and then Raffles actually starts to meld into, like, the center of this Titan, right into the center of this star shape. And his face becomes, and he goes, Latom. And his face becomes the center. Like, he melts into the star in the center of it. And then the whole center becomes Raffles the First's face. And his mouth just opens up real wide, and he shoots out some objects from his mouth. And it had Vulcan going, "The spikes around the edge disappeared." Because it had spikes, but the spikes have disappeared from the wheel, and Raffles shoots them out. "The spikes around the edge disappeared. Now I'm picking up 8 new powerful heat sources." And Shinra's in the air, these spikes are flying around, and they turn into spiky flying infernals. They're just flying now. "The heat is coming from demon infernals." "Demons?"
Just like,
And then we have Maki going,
just one of those is hard enough to put out. Just one of those is hard enough to put out, and now there are 8?
"Get ready to back him up." Then we have Fairy, who's just smiling. And Shinra has not lost his composure at all, as we see the crazed, gigantic face of Raffles the First and these flying infernals. With Raffles the First's face is all like real big and wide. And Shinra just looks, and we see part of his face start to dematerialize. And then there's a massive explosion in the air. And all we see is just dust and debris falling in the air. And then all we have is Vulcan looking on. He literally takes the visor off and goes, "Whoa, all the heat sources are gone." Shinra just took out every single one of those infernals. Maki just said just one of those demon infernals was hard enough to take out on its own. Shinra just took out all 8 of them instantly. This man took less time to take out a demon infernal than any other person in the Fire Force. And then we have Arthur, who's just laughing to himself going, "You've triumphed over the devil at last, eh?" As Shinra is in the... Oh, there's a double spread panel here. Yeah, there's a double spread panel here with Shinra, and he's floating in the air, and the word hero is in flames coming out of his feet again, and he's smiling. And then we have... Licht, who goes, "Shinra's style has changed. My brother is a true hero."
A hero wins the fight with 1 hit!
As apparently Shinra's drawn style has changed as well. Like, the way he's drawn has changed. I dare say his art style has changed to be like more heroic and aesthetic. He's okay.
A hero wins the fight with one hit!
And that is the end of chapter 237 onwards to 238. He's a... And Shinra is floating in the air with Raffles going,
Raffles the first! The next one's gonna end it! I'll win this fight in one hit!
and then it has Lick going, Shinra! I've analyzed the lightspeed kick you did on the Chinese peninsula, and considering the data, it's powerful enough to send a shockwave our way that will potentially cause serious damage. And then Shinra looks down at Licht. Then we have Sister Iris, and she closes her eyes and goes,
Please.
As the wind starts to whip around Sister Iris.
We are lost souls, O great sun.
Then we see the flames of Adola.
Bless us with thy protection.
And then a massive light just envelops Captain Pan, envelops Karin. What is this light?
Captain Pan, is this one of your buffs?
No, it's not me.
And then a light just envelops the entire area where Company 2, 5, and 2, 5, and 8 are.
Is that?
And this is Shinra, as Sister Iris is huffing, and Licht looks over at her.
The miracle we saw when we were fighting Dragon.
You know, the miracle the thing that protected all of them from the blast of Dragon?
What? The light of an Adola burst.
And whoa! The light isn't just enveloping where the companies are, it's enveloping the entire coast. Let me say that again. Do you realize how big a coast is? The coast is the whole section of land that meets the ocean. This light is covering the whole coast! And Shō's there with Shinra.
Brother, it appears you have no need to worry about the shockwave. Sister Iris has awakened as the 8th pillar.
And Sister Iris is steadily praying still.
If I have her devotions and prayers on my side, then I know I can do this. People of the Tokyo Empire!
Oh wait, this is Raffles. Oh, Raffles is actually speaking.
People of the Tokyo Empire, I will show you the path to salvation. The time has come to return to the great flame of fire and die.
And then Shinra.
That doesn't sound like salvation to me. A savior is a savior because he saves the world.
Go, Shinra! You can do it, Shinra! Is Ogun and Juggernaut. Then we have everyone screaming for Shinra. Tamaki, Maki, Licht, Vulcan, Hinawa. Arthur's the only one who's not cheering because he's always with that. And then we have Captain Obi.
Go get him, Shinra!
I'm on it, sir!
As we see Shinra flying forwards, the dematerialized particles of Shinra. Then one panel that is just completely blank. I don't think I've ever seen a panel in a manga where one panel is just completely blank. Nothing in it. And then, woo! We see a gigantic hole straight through the head of Raffles the First. And Shinra is moving so forceful that there's a shockwave that appears just from him flying through Raffles. Then Fairy is smiling. Then we have Sister Iris go,
Latom.
Then we might as well call this a 100 times size nuclear explosion mushroom cloud erupt from the point of impact, and all of the coast being whipped up by the shockwave. The shockwave! And we have Shinra who's looking back at it.
I feel power welling up from inside me. I really did that, didn't I?
And then we have Maki.
He did it, Lieutenant!
Yeah. And then we have Hibana going,
That was amazing, Shinra!
Then we have Kanro and Benimaru. He's a real piece of work.
Yeah.
Then Kurono. For crying out loud, he's gotten way too strong. Then we have just, I want to say, blood shooting out of the head of Raffles the First, and Shinra just floating in the air as Raffles the First topples backwards into the ocean. Then we get Ogun. Hey, you! You really are a hero!
Captain, he insta-killed it!
Good work, hero! And then we have people going... No!
How could he? It can't be true. Raffles-sama!
As Raffles falls into the ocean. And then we have Fairy going, hope is lost. Now humankind will sink into despair. And then we have the cameraman going,
Wow, that fire soldier is...
And then the thoughts of
A devil. A devil.
a devil.
A devil.
A devil.
A devil. A devil.
A devil.
A devil.
just pop up everywhere towards Shinra.
He's the devil that killed Raffles-sama!
Make that fire soldier pay!
Kill him! He's a devil!
And Shinra's just floating in the air. And then we have Fairy going, Shinra Kusakabe must never become a hero. This is the end. Captain!
What's wrong?
It's Shinra! Shinra's gone! And Shinra is no longer in the sky. He's just gone. And that's the end of chapter 238, onwards to 239. Vanished Hero. And then the moon is in the air, but now it starts to leak fluid from its mouth. Just like the moon from Soul Eater.
It's Shinra! He's gone!
Iris?
As Tamaki looks over and Sister Iris is gone. Then we have Arrow, who's on the ground, who apparently was watching over Shō, and Shō is apparently gone.
Commander?
And then Licht is watching, looking around. What in the world just happened? Then we have Sister Sumire with Haumia and Inka.
Everything has gone according to plan. We will join them at the pillars. Yona, the rest is up to you.
See you at Destruction Day, then. And then Haumia is just smiling, this big old cheese. And all three, since both of them are pillars as well, they just disappear from in front of Yona. Humanity's hero has vanished. The holy child of a virgin birth. In the fire 12 years ago, if he had disappeared with his mother and younger brother, he may have become a legend. So we left him on Earth, and branded him with the disgrace of matricide. We allowed him to live, not as a legendary hero, but as a devil. And then it just has people calling Shinra a devil as he grew up. And now, by projecting a new image onto him, the image of the devil that killed Raffles, the bud of hope in a hero has been completely plucked off. Now, all that's left is to use the key on Amaterasu. Then this planet will become a world of fire. Its savior is no more. As it shows a picture of the world as it just explodes into flame. Just breaking it apart. Think the destruction of Krypton, but perpetual fire everywhere. And then power goes out across everywhere. Across the county. Power has gone out across all across the Tokyo Empire. Are communications still online?
What is happening?
Captain Pan, we have a message from the fire station. There's a massive outbreak of infernals. It's no use. I can't find either of them. And this is Vulcan.
Shinra probably disappeared because he's a pillar. But why Iris?
They may be hiding somewhere, goes Arthur as he looks underneath the matchbox, simpleton as he is. There's a very simple explanation, goes Licht, and everyone listens in. I suspect this means that Sister Iris is the 8th and final pillar.
What? Sister Iris?
Most likely, the blackout was a result of Amaterasu ceasing function because the first pillar disappeared. If that's the case, it probably has some connection to the disappearance of pillars like Shinra and Sister Iris. The question is, where did they go? Wow, so you mean to tell me that Iris was what was keeping Amaterasu running the whole time? Because if power went out, and Sister Iris is supposed to be the doppelganger of Amaterasu, or the woman who would be known as Amaterasu, the first pillar, you know, the Adola burst that powers all of Tokyo Empire, you mean to tell me that with Iris being there, her very existence was powering all of Tokyo? And now that she's disappeared, all of Tokyo's lost. That's, oh my goodness. Wow! So with Sister Iris gone, so is all of the power of Tokyo itself. 'Cause her merely existing pretty much powered Amaterasu. Most likely, the blackout was a result of Amaterasu ceasing function because the first pillar disappeared. That, oh wait, hold on. Nope, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything at all. Don't say anything at all, don't say anything at all. What I just went off on was the dumbest rant because I completely forgot that Amaterasu is the first pillar powering all of Tokyo. Say nothing, say nothing! Let me correct my stupidity. Amaterasu is the first pillar. Since all the pillars disappeared, it's no surprise that the first pillar disappeared. So it's not Sister Iris who disappeared, causing everything to disappear. I am correcting my stupidity. Allow me to fully flesh it out. It's because the first pillar disappeared. The first pillar that has been used as a power source for all of Tokyo. So since the first pillar disappeared, all of Tokyo has lost power on top of everybody else. All right, stupidity correction over. Let's continue. I had to correct myself. It took me reading that line a second time for me to realize what I said was really dumb. Really dumb. Most likely, the blackout was a result of Amaterasu ceasing function because the first pillar disappeared. If that's the case, it probably has some connection to the disappearance of pillars like Shinra and Sister Iris. The question is, where did they go? And then we have Arrow stepping into frame.
To Adola.
You!
They went to Adola. We haven't a moment to lose. The great cataclysm has entered its final stage. There is no time to waste arguing.
And then Tamaki chimes in going,
And we're supposed to trust you? You appear out of nowhere and start bossing us around? Your arrow took Captain Ho-Yan's right arm, and Lieutenant Rekka, he...
What is a single arm when the fate of the world is at stake? This is not the time to quibble over such matters.
And then Maki chimes in going,
What do you know? The fourth and eighth pillars have disappeared. So too has the third. My mission is to protect the third pillar, Commander Shō Kusakabe.
And we go back in time before Shō showed up to save Shinra from, Fairy's randomness.
Arrow, if my brother becomes a hero in the world's eyes, we may yet be able to stop the great cataclysm. If he fails, the pillars will likely all vanish into Adola. If I lose you, Commander, then what of my mission? Listen to me, Arrow. You must not give up hope. As long as my brother exists, the final destination of the collective unconscious will not be death. Yes, Commander.
Then back to the present.
The pillars have vanished, and all that is left is to activate the switch that will trigger the great cataclysm.
Switch?
There is yet hope. We have but to prevent the activation of the switch.
But where is this switch? And then Vulcan chimes in. I think I have a guess. As we go right back to Amaterasu. Amaterasu, right? How can you be sure, Vulcan? Giovanni was looking for the key to Amaterasu. There has to be a connection. All right, everybody, get in the matchbox.
I shall accompany you.
Maki, Arthur. As Arrow gets in, but Maki and Arthur are sitting right next to Arrow. Don't you try anything funny.
We're watching you.
What you said earlier. Don't give up hope. I like that.
They are the commander's words.
Shō's words, eh? As long as our world is still around, we won't give up hope. And then Vulcan. Let's go! Next stop, Amaterasu! And they all take off. Then we have Yona, who's there with Charon, Ritsu, and Dragon. You have the key. You have the key. Then onward to Amaterasu. As we see Dr. Giovanni, who's surrounded in the dark, but we see strange things linked to him. Like I see a creature arm, but I also see like a malformed mouth and numerous sets of eyes that normally don't go in places where they're placed. But that's the end of chapter 239. Onwards to 240 at the center of the world. And yeah, this is the last chapter for this volume. Chapter 240 at the center of the world. All is dark. All is calm. Why is the power out? I can't see Jack. Why is the refrigerator warm? I want snacks. I'm sorry. But we have Ogun who's flying overhead and he sees Company 8's Matchbox driving. Company 8's Matchbox? Where are you going? What's the rush? Urgent business. And this is Hinawa as Arthur pops up. Ogun, we're making our way to Amaterasu. You will join us. Who needs please and thank you, am I right? And it shows Company 8 rolling through the streets. That's pitch black. We're almost there, but it looks like this place is crawling with infernals, like everywhere else. We'll just have to let the other companies take care of the infernals. Then we have Ogun and Arthur talking. Did you see how many infernals we passed on the way here? There were quite a lot. What could be more important than putting them to rest? The white-clad cult approaches to attack Camelot. And then we have Arrow going. The white-clad cult approaches to attack Amaterasu as the final step to initiating the Great Cataclysm. As she, pointedly explains from the inside. Then we have Arthur smiling. We have arrived. This is our castle. As we get to Amaterasu, I love how this is drawn. I love how they draw them driving up to Amaterasu, but since it's so dark, we only get the silhouette of everything except for the small amount of light from the front of Company 8's Matchbox shining onto the guardhouse at the front of Amaterasu. I love how this is drawn to truly show that the whole empire is in complete and utter darkness. You just show one light off to the side, and that gives you like a sense of scale and scope of how dark everything is. I really like that. I like that. Okay, this is our stop. Looks like the white-clad goons aren't here yet. They will surely be here to insert the key. Then we have Lick smiling going, we can finally see if our theories were correct about the mysterious white arrows we saw in the Chinese peninsula. And then Vulcan is looking up at Amaterasu. And then Arthur, your ancestors built this castle, Vulcan. Yeah, Amaterasu was never meant to be a weapon of mass destruction. Then Captain Obi. We'll set up a line of defense out here. You go check things out inside, Vulcan. All of our equipment is packed in the Matchbox. Sorry I can't spare any soldiers to defend you. You'll be infiltrating solo. I'll be fine. I've already requested my own backup. And it's you and Lisa.
Vol!
Wow. Because the whole time, Lisa has been calling Vulcan Val this whole time. At least in the volumes I've been reading. But this is the first time she calls him Vol. So have I been saying it? Has it been pronounced wrong throughout these other volumes with Lisa in it? Because she doesn't call him Val anymore. It's Vol, as in Vulcan.
Vol! Sorry to keep you waiting.
Goes you. There's no time. Let's get going.
What are we doing this time?
I'm finally going inside the property my ancestors left me. And then we have armed guards who show up and shine light on them. Hey, this is a restricted area. You're not allowed inside. What do you think you're doing? We're here to inspect Amaterasu. Huh? No one told us about any inspection. Maki. Sir. Wait, you're Company 8, the wanted criminals! And Maki and Hinawa proceed to knock out these security guards. Spider-Net! Sorry about this, as these guards are stuck to the ground. Hey, does Company 8 always do this kind of thing? As, Ogun is experiencing company eating their antics for the very first time.
They were never this blatant about it, but I think they've always kind of leaned in that direction.
Then we have Vulcan. Sorry, had to check on the dogs again, make sure they were good, but Mom was checking on them. Amaterasu has only one entrance. If you're going to set up a line of defense, it better be here at the door. Vulcan. We'll be fine. Lisa, you, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Captain.
Sir, what's our plan?
And this is Licht. We stay here and fight them when they come.
I just thought we could hide and do a surprise attack.
With a surprise attack, you run a big risk of blowing the whole thing. Today, it is vitally important that the enemy does not get near Amaterasu, because once they get inside, it's game over.
So, direct combat then?
Yep. And then, who's saying this? I think this is Vulcan. There's someone else saying this. Is this Captain Obi? I was getting antsy sitting around doing nothing after they branded us as traitors. But things are different now. We're gonna save the world whether they like it or not. Then Hinawa. Arrow and I will snipe the enemy on sight.
If any of them get close, Tamaki and I will fight them. I'll use my mobility to disrupt the enemy lines.
Then Ogun. Arthur and I will hunt down the big bads. Then we have them thinking of Shinra and Iris.
We'll stop the Great Cataclysm and get Iris and Kusakabe back.
And then Arthur tenses up as he goes, here they come. As we get Ritsu and Charon, who appear first.
The Fire Force? What are they doing here? This wasn't part of the plan.
But you should have expected it. Stop freaking out at every minor new development. We have all the pawns we need.
As Ritsu has an army of Infernals right behind her. He's with them. As we see the body of Dragon looming overhead, in the background as well. In one panel, not in the background. I need to stop making up places they are not at. We have Dragon looming in a panel that Arthur immediately notices. To be continued in Volume 8. And we only have one thing for the translation notes. Translation notes. Doskoi, page 64. Doskoi is an interjection used when doing manual labor and largely associated with sumo wrestling. Perhaps Captain Honda is channeling a Honda from another world, a sumo wrestler with the first initial E. E Honda? Who is a bit of a street fighter and has a move called Onimuso, meaning roughly the demon's muso, where muso is a sumo wrestling technique. Yeah, this is straight up a Street Fighter reference. And that's the only translator note that we get for this volume. But we got through it, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta check this book. What is on this page? Did I have too much lotion on my hands? Why is that so slick? Okay, there we go. That is it for volume 27, ladies and gentlemen. All the pillars have disappeared. All the titans have been destroyed. Shinra's image has worsened because everyone still reveals Raffles the First because they don't know about the true history of the world. And now we have everyone at the spot where all of this started. Amaterasu with Vulcan and his crew going inside, which is just Lisa and you. And everyone else standing outside to keep everyone from getting in. So yeah, big fight's about to happen. We got the one pyrokinetic for the White Clad that's basically able to raise the dead with her powers. We got another one who's basically just Meliodas' full counter in walking human form. And then we have a man who's a literal walking dragonborn. Amongst an army of Infernals. Why don't we have a Fire Force game? You can't tell me it wouldn't be fun to... Ooh! Fire Force would be amazing as a Musou game. Think about it. The enemies you fight are infernals. Why not? And a lot of the powers that we see in Fire Force are widespread attacks that you can... Ooh, why? Why don't we have a Fire Force game? I'm already thinking of ideas, but I got to stay on topic here. Yeah, I am looking forward to the next chapter tomorrow. Ooh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. They planned for Shinra to kill Raffles to get everyone to hate him. I don't like it, but I gotta admit it was a smart plan. Yeah, you knew they had something up their sleeves. There was a smartphone gotcha game. That's it. Get that out of here. No, enough of gotchas. Stop it. I don't care how successful they are. Stop with the gotchas, because that's how they get yous. But we like console anime games. Look, this is the second day. This is the second day of January in the year 2024. Can we get some anime games, like some real ones? Not like fighting games or arena fighters or battle royales or smartphone gotcha games. Can we get some real anime games? Please. Please. Is that so much to ask? Real anime games? There's just a market that's not being tapped into because people are making safe games, but this is not the conversation for that. I'm sorry. We got to continue on. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, I did enjoy this volume because we saw powers from Shinra. This man took out 8 demon infernals all at once, all on his own. And then he took out Raffles the First, who was, in the last Grand Titan, even though it was their plan to make Shinra out to be the bad guy, because with this guy recording Shinra on camera, they wanted it to be that the whole collective conscious would be that Shinra's a devil, and his imagery throughout the world is of that of evil, instead of that being a hero, despite what Shō and Shinra wanted to be. So now it's like, wow, okay, things just went from bad to worse. And we found out who Shinra's and Shō's father is. No one. And found out how horrible a mother Mari's mom was. But overall, this is really what you would call, and I believe someone said it at first, that this is what you would call a setup chapter, because I feel like a setup volume. Because while quite a few things happened in this one, into this one, I feel like the next volume is where things are going to get very interesting, since the White Clad is about to confront Company 8 outside of Amaterasu. So that should be fun to read tomorrow. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. I've read all of volume 27, and I'm looking forward to 28. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 28. It's going to be fun. But I can't wait to see what the next volume is. I don't even want to know any hints about, like, oh, the father is this or the father is that. I don't care. Don't write it. I don't want to see any inclinations. Let the chapter tell me. Just let the chapters tell me. I don't want no hints. I don't want no mentions. I don't want like, oh, I've seen this, but I'm not going to say anything. I don't care. Don't write it out. Let the volumes tell me. We can conversate and talk about it after I've read it, but not a moment before. And I want everyone who can hear my voice to really pay attention to that, because I don't want to see anyone talking about like, oh, this is about to happen. Oh, that's about to happen. I don't care. The best way I can go into these chapters is not knowing a single thing at all. That's how I can give you the best reactions possible. But I'm looking forward to the next volume tomorrow, all the same. But I'm done reading. It's time for me to figure out what I'm going to eat for lunch. And then later on, we're going to mess around with a game called Tales of Arise, which I heard was very good and it was on sale. So I got it. And we're going to play that, because that'll be something that can keep me occupied while we're waiting on the next One Piece DLC that's supposed to be dropping next week. I'm so happy for it, but I'm done. All I can say to everyone right here is, Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, even become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.